Okay, this is a very random video, especially because I'm not a handyman and I don't know a bunch about tools and everything, but my dad does. And I guess that's probably a new thing. Obviously, I am a minor. I guess most people can already tell by my voice. But anyways, my father, he's a handyman. Like, obviously I've done stuff inside the garage with him, but I don't know as much as him. And he likes to watch this guy, Project Phone, because he does reviews on stuff. And I'm showing this because I don't really know fully the copyright rules, and I don't want him to not that he's ever gonna see this video, but I don't want him to necessarily come after me. But because this is obviously criticism, I've seen some of the stuff he does. It is very good. I like watching some of his videos with my dad, but this video in and of itself just isn't good in my opinion. Not good, but I think it's measured wrong. I'm not going to go through the video. I'm just going to look at the very end and show. So the stats he puts, he's using the hammer drills from these brands. So he's using a Flex hammer drill, Milwaukee, Makita, DeWalt, Ryobi, so on and so forth. And I mean, clearly the most expensive one does the best, but I think I think he's measuring it wrong because he's only looking at how good the tool does, which sounds weird, but if you look at it, um, like I said, I don't know what a lot of this means, but for this one I'm gonna work focus on for the most part the lag bolts. The Flex in first gear puts 3 lag bolts in with an average of 1 second and then 2 seconds on second gear. And the reason why this video is why I'm making it is because if you look at the Hercules, it does it in 3 seconds. And actually, you know what? I'm not gonna count this yet because I believe he did a mistake when measuring the time. But if you look at most of the stats, let me find one of the charts. If you find the charts, the Hercules right here is, I mean, that's a pretty big gap. And then yes, it's lower than these by a pretty decent amount. Like the highest number it's lower is 100, roughly. But it's also $130, 250, 280, 250. While the Hercules is 70. But I would also like to point out, for some reason, he didn't buy the Hercules hammer drill. So this is the Milwaukee hammer drill, Flex hammer, DeWalt hammer, Makita hammer. This is just the basic normal Hercules hammer, or not hammer. This is just the normal Hercules drill, not the hammer, which doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, you should, if you're gonna test hammer drills, you should, get the hammer drill. But anyways, so the Hercules being the cheapest one on here, except for the Chemo, which I mean, all the ones that are below 100, look at how they're doing. I mean, Craftsman, but we're counting that one as 100 because it's 99. They're doing garbage. The Hercules is up here with the ones that are nearly over $200, except for the Makita. Uh, and then if you look at the lag bolts in first gear,
the third bolt. So
I'm gonna mute this. In seconds, so it took the Craftsman 10 seconds to drive 3 lag bolts in first gear. The top three, $280, 250. The Hercules is at 70, and it's a difference of what even is that? That's point what 0.46 seconds. 0.46 seconds, but also a $210 difference. So, I mean, obviously, yes, technically he's measuring it by how fast it did it, so this one did do it quicker, but I'm just letting that be aware or be known. 0.46 second difference with a $210 price difference. And then, so these are the top. Did I skip this round? Well, these are the top three for. Oh wait, no, he hasn't done it yet. Hang on. Oh my god, I'm all lost of where I am. Where's the second gear? Because he does them in first gear and then he does them in second gear. This is first gear. I don't think he actually puts. Yeah, he only does the top three. So we don't know the number of this. I don't think the chemo got up there. But anyways, now let me look at what I wanted to show. Him screwing. So that's the Makita. Where's the Hercules? This is the Hercules. I think this is the Hercules. Yeah. So this is the Hercules. I'm gonna slow this down because I want to like show. So if we look at like how this one is being screwed in and the time, which I'm gonna put these like I'm gonna put the time like probably over here. So I'm gonna slow it down to get like a more exact number. But this drill or this lag bolt, boom, that's fully driven in at 236. I don't know why he doesn't count it. Oh wait, sorry, 246, I guess. So 246, and you can see the drill like jolt whenever it's fully driven in, because that's the drill saying okay it's tight and then like stopping. So just watch the drill. You can see it like jolt and bang, sort of. If I can time this right there, it'll be like as soon as the lag bolt gets all the way in, right there. Now this is the second lag bolt. It'll do the same jolt, which means it's done, which means it's already drilled in. I was a moron and I paused it before. Hang on, let me go back. You can see it jolt. Boom. Right there's the jolt. And it stopped at, what time was that? That was 272. And then he goes back and shows that it didn't drive it all the way in, which is bull crap. Or, well, I can't say that because maybe something happened where like the drill screwed up. But just by looking at it, the drill clicked, and you can see the lag bolt go down and push the washer into the wood. But now, like, look at that lift. Like, that was not there. You can see it go down like this one. And so those are the times. So you've got 246, 2.46 seconds, and 2.72 seconds. He doesn't count that. I don't know why. And then this one goes... this one's definitely a bit slower. And that one clicked. I need to stop. I'm not looking at the time. I'm just looking at, like, staring at the drill. 252, right? 287. So you've got 2.46 seconds, 2.72 seconds, and 2.87 seconds, I think, is the number. And so if you average those out, because what he does is he takes the total number of seconds of, like, putting them in, and then he divides it by 3, because that's how you get the average. So let me do that math. What's that? 2.42 plus 2.72 plus 2.87 equals 8.01 divided by 3, which is an average of 2.67. So it took the Hercules an average of 2.67 seconds to get those in. But if you go here, again, anyways, ad break. But on here, you can see the average he does. It doesn't look like he goes into, like, the, like, decimals. But this one, I don't know why he has this at 4 seconds. I think it's because... I actually don't know why, because the math doesn't add up. Oh, no, wait, how did he get 4? Because even if he doesn't count the second lag bolt, that means he only has to get the average of the 2 that he did. And that would be 2.42, 2.46 plus 2.87 divided by 2, which would be an average of like It's like 2 seconds, right? Roughly. So what it looks like he added all three of them up, but then only divided by two because he didn't complete the second one, which is even more bullcrap, in my opinion. But according to it being proper and using every single one, the Hercules would get around what was the number? I gotta look at it again. 2.67 seconds is the average. So it would compare with literally the DeWalt and Flex. Two of the biggest, two of the biggest and best manufacturing brands out there. So I don't get why he marks this at 4. It just seems like, and obviously, best is subjective. Yes. I mean, like, if you look at these other numbers, low RPM, I don't know if, like, the higher the number, yeah, the higher the number, I assume is better. Although this one's got 75, so I don't think so. But even this one, the Hercules compares with the Flex. I think the lower the number, the better. So the Hercules compares with the Flex, which is in first. The decibels, which, I mean, who gives crap about the decibels? These are all inside, like, a range of 10 decibels, roughly. The size, I mean, most drills pretty much the same size. It doesn't really matter. Chunk grip on socket, I don't know what that means. But, I mean, 4, I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm just stupid, but yeah, I don't know what that means. I assume this is meaning, like, how much of a grip it has on the bit that's inside of it. Although these ones have 10 pounds, 11 pounds. So I don't know if that is accurate. It might be like how many pounds you have to do to like release it. Even still, the Hercules is still competitive with the top 4. Maximum torque, I assume it's better to have a higher number for this. Although maybe not. I don't know. You'd think a higher number on torque would be better. The driving speed, I mean, we've already determined the Hercules is at 3 seconds, competitive 2 seconds. Which, I mean, if he already got this number wrong, who's to say he was not going to get this number wrong? Depth of hole drilled in the concrete, I mean, the Hercules got the highest number, along with the Chemo, which doesn't really make sense, but sure. I mean, 2 inches, 3 inches, 5 inches, 1 inch. I mean, let's also be fair. Who's using a hammer drill to drill into just like a big bucket of concrete that's 10 inches thick? Minimum clutch, I don't know what that means. And then what he does is he adds all of these numbers up. All of these numbers up. Actually, I think he just adds these numbers up and then divides them. So wait, let me do that math because I want to make sure like I'm getting that right. So he'd be adding about, so you'd be putting in 4 plus 5 plus 3 plus 4 plus 10 plus 11, and that would equal about 37, and then you would divide it by, that's 6 numbers to get 6.167. Well, 6.1666667. So he rounds them up, it looks like, yeah, he rounds them up to the nearest tenth. So obviously the smaller the number, the better, because if he's averaging them out, then he needs to do either all of the numbers being smaller better or all the numbers being larger better, because you can't mix those because then you're going to get a mixed average. So I don't know, I was just watching it, and sure, maybe the Flex would be better for somebody like him, like this guy, because he is probably, I mean, he's 3.5 million followers or subscribers, and he's testing all of these big brand things like tools. So he probably has money he can just spend on tools. So the Flex is definitely better for him because it topped in most categories. But most people that use tools do not need, or most people who use tools don't just have a ton of money. So if I walked up to the average Joe and said, you can drill these 3 lag bolts in 5 seconds, $280, or you can screw these 3 lag bolts in 6 seconds with this drill, but it's $70 or $80 because that's how much the actual Hercules hammer drill costs. Do you want it to be a second faster, but also cost $200 more? I guarantee you the average person is gonna take the Hercules because they don't give a crap if it takes an extra second. They care to save that $200, and this is like probably shouldn't be taken into account because I don't know the Flex warranty, but Hercules, if I was sitting there drilling, just going away, and then boom, it breaks, I can just waltz right into Harbor Freight and say, yo, I need a new one, and they give me a new one. Flex, I don't know. I don't think there's any store that is like known for having Flex. I think Flex is just everywhere. I could be fully wrong. I haven't done research on this. But I feel like Flex, it either doesn't have a warranty or it would be a very long, like a shipping warranty. Unless you live near one of the facilities, then maybe. But as I said, I don't know much about tools. I just wanted to bring that to attention. I'm not hating on this guy. Say, I don't know, boom, subscribed. I like this guy. He does good stuff. He does good videos. But this was obviously just one that wasn't factual in my opinion. Especially because you were using, how many other drills is this? This is what a total of, that'd be 9, 12, 14 drills. You were using 13 drills that are hammer drills, that are specifically meant to get stuff in. And then you've got the 14th being a non-hammer drill, and it's still comparing with these high-end brands. That's where it's like, no, the Hercules should 100% be called in for this, because that's I don't even know. I'm trying to be witty and think of a man, I'm really not in my game today. I'm gonna figure this one out. Think of a joke, not a joke. A example? I have no idea. Man, listen, look at all these numbers. It's really made me go brain dead. That's like counting something for being a water bottle and comparing 10 water bottles and comparing a strainer, and the strainer's still holding more water than all the water bottles. It's like, imagine if that thing didn't have holes. Imagine how much water it'd hold then. That's pretty much what's going on here. He's using a not hammer drill for hammering tasks, and it's still comparing 2 hammering drills. So, I don't assume anybody's going to see this video, and even if they do, I highly doubt they're going to be watching this guy or using tools. But, I mean, just showing the Hercules is better. It's probably the best option here. $70 compared to a lot of big brands. Do whatever you want. Go buy it. Don't buy it. I don't really care.